sound will be that much more amazing. We are officially live on YouTube. Take two. Because the first time we went through this, guess what? We weren't live, but that's okay. Practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah, fun. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So everybody, this is Wendy Lynn. She's an amazing coach. Her ideal work relationship is to help you better your relationships in your life, whether you're boss, employee, whether you're parent, child, or maybe you're a couple that is maybe struggling a little bit. So let's find out what those personality types are and figure it out from there. So Wendy is your girl. If any of that is speaking to you or resonating with you, you got to look her up.
Yes, I am definitely the personality queen. And how do I know? I was born with a personality and needed a lot of work. So I figure, hell, make a career out of it, right?
I love that. I love that. So go ahead and take that ball and run with it. Go ahead and let us know a little bit about what you do and how you do it. And
yeah, so I graduated college with my degrees in philosophy and psychology. Super, super passionate, very intelligent woman, graduated with a 4.0. But I would give away both of those degrees for my coaching degree and my Enneagram practitioner certification. Like you said there, Jamie, like there's nothing I love more than working with people around their personalities and how the dynamics of your personalities are affecting your relationships. And everything we do in life is based on relationships. And if you're not working on your personality, I joke, you hear the phrase personal growth all the time, but for me, it's personality growth, because all personal growth revolves around your personality. And I'm really good at that.
awesome. Awesome. I know you are. I know you are, girl. Okay. So as most people who have seen some of these interviews know, I'm not necessarily about promoting the business, although of course that naturally happens just because when we resonate with somebody, we automatically want to be in their world, right? But instead, let's get to know Wendy a little bit more with some fun questions. So Wendy, starting off, what brings you joy?
What brings me the most joy is when the world stands still and everything's perfect. I'm a type 1 on the Enneagram. I'm a perfectionist, and there's nothing more perfect than sitting on my roof. I live in Rio Verde, Arizona, and sitting on my roof in my Santa Fe home overlooking Four Peaks Mountain with the sun not even rising yet, and just watching it as it comes up and just really being still with it. And I could stay there all day, but the sun kind of comes up and things kind of change and it gets a little hot. So I go downstairs.
Awesome. Just connecting with nature, right?
Yeah,
Being out, I like seeing nature. I like seeing it, like you said, when it's time to wake up, it literally wakes up. It's so exciting and amazing. It's meditative.
absolutely. Focuses your attention on things of beauty, and yeah, that brings me joy. Yeah.
And the big picture, bigger than us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Love that answer. All right, what is your favorite meal?
So I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. So I am a very good cook. You bring me a bottle of wine, I'll cook you anything. But my favorite is what I call the seafood fra diablo, and it's going to be shrimp and crab meat and some lobster meat in a red sauce with peppers and mushrooms over pasta with a good glass of red wine. Favorite meal.
Oh, yummy. I think I said this in our round trip, but I'm coming over now. That seriously sounds really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I love it. What is your favorite quote or phrase?
So, as a writer, I use a lot of quotes and phrases in my books. But to be honest, the one that hits home the most for me is actually a Wendy Lynn quote. I know it's corny, but one of my own quotes is, I love, not because I can love, but rather because I am love. And it just reminds me that Love isn't something you do, it's who you are. And when you can get, for me, that's the truth that I constantly want to hear. So I keep that quote pretty much posted all over my house to remind me who I am, because it's easy to forget.
That's beautiful. I love that. And so powerful to embody the idea of I am love.
You are.
The words that come after I am are shape your life and your world. Huh?
So, and it's interesting that you say that, because we're not always loving, but who we are, that love, that essence of that breath of our being, it doesn't change even when we're not being loving. And so, I can't not be love. There's, even when I'm, not showing up in it.
Right. Coming from the ideal place.
Well, let's go with that. Right?
On occasion.
How it happens.
On occasion. Okay, so what is your favorite song?
So my favorite song, without question, is Martina McBride. She sings a song called Anyway. And to me, if I could just live my life, I mean, I know that truth at the core of my body of that song. She talks about how you can spend your whole life building something that a storm can come and blow away in a moment. She says, but build it anyway. She talks about you can love someone with all your heart. In a moment, they could choose to walk away, but love them anyway. But at the very end of the song, I changed the word song to, she talks about you can pour your heart out singing a song that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang, but sing it anyway. And if I could just keep doing that, some fear comes in and you doubt yourself, and questions and skepticism and life comes in a way, but those things that matter, you just got to keep doing them anyway, every day.
It gives me goosebumps to hear you talk about it, because it's absolutely 100% true. And it's so important. Can you imagine the world if we all stepped up to that plate and showed up as our highest version of ourselves, in our most loving version of ourselves? It truly would change the dynamic of the entire planet.
It can't not.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I
love it.
That's work. That's hard work. And,
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be, but you know what? It's interesting, because once you get to a place where it is the new normal for you, it truly becomes the new normal for you, because in a place of happiness and joy and love and, kind of all of those positive emotions, dis-ease, it can't penetrate that. Love is a very, very powerful thing. And I know you know this. I'm preaching to the choir right now.
Absolutely. Hey, bring it, preach it all day.
Right.
I need to be reminded quite often, but you know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, like I talk about this a lot, about how the the word is escaping me, silliness, how the internet kind of programs and funnels things to your feed. What is that called? You don't know either. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's called, but that's how life works too. It's what are you focused on? What are you commenting on? What are you liking or disliking? Or how are you engaging with the world around you? And that's what shows up in your life. So when you engage with the love and the joy and the happiness and the peace and the prosperity in all forms of what that looks like, it totally changes the perspective of everything around you, and all that other ugliness and discomfort falls away.
We call it, in the Enneagram world, we call it the focus of attention of the types. And it's, very much like the law of attraction. But when I work with the teenagers around my Truth and Dare program, one of the things I'm constantly reminding them of is, no matter what conflict or chaos or confusion you're having in any given moment, what you desire is just one thought, one behavior, or one feeling away. It's that close. but because we keep funneling, like you said, or focusing on that of, what we think we're experiencing, we forget we have that power to shift.
Exactly. It clouds us. I mean, it clouds that judgment. It clouds the next decision. And then we're down the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole of like, where the heck are we?
Exactly.
Hey, how do we get back up to the surface?
Well, and then we play around now for a long time. Like, wait,
don't we though?
Right? I don't even want to be here, and I'm going to entertain this. But
and the truth is, if life was truly easy all the time, we would be bored out of our minds. I mean, the last year has proven that to most people.
Absolutely. And it's like what I said, all growth comes from, being in the trenches and finding our way out, learning and growing from our experiences.
So on those lines, like Groundhog Day has been really heavy on my mind and heart. The movie, the Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, just because in that movie, he goes from, one perspective to a complete polar opposite, but it wasn't overnight. It was after versions and versions and versions of trying to get to that place.
Well, right, because it's a dynamic. Life is a dynamic. Our personalities are dynamic. Our experiences are dynamic. But what happened in that movie, and it just is so, he built on his learning and he continued to make each day better because he was choosing to say, okay, not going to do that again because it didn't work for me. So, the question is, are you building on your experiences or are you choosing to let them just rerun?
I love it. Right?
Minute process, girl.
All kinds of crazy things are going through my head right now. Okay, so speaking of Bill Murray and that movie, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. I really liked Rudy. I like stories where the underdog wins. I like stories when ordinary people become inspirations and heroes. So that one kind of really sticks with me. That's a good one.
I love it. Perfect. Awesome. And then last but not least, who inspires you? And maybe why?
A lot of people inspire me, but ultimately it's anybody who has gotten on a personal growth journey and who's working on it. People who can own their stuff. People who say, yeah, this is something I'm struggling with, and this is part of who I am, but it's not the all of who I am. People who strive and thrive. I think if I could be, I'm a personality coach, so I can't wish to be anybody else. But who does it really well is Byron Katie. I absolutely love Byron Katie. She gets up on that stage and she sits there. She's completely unprepared. And she has this process of shifting people away from ego, away from personality into their essence and getting them from a place of chaos to a place of empowerment. And I admire her for showing up every day with an intention to make the world a better place. She's the person I aspire to.
Awesome. So speaking of empowerment, tell us where we can reach you. How can we get a hold of Wendy Lynn?
So my company is called I Empowerment. It's just the letter I and the word empowerment. And there you can find all my books, upcoming events. It is iempowerment.com.
Awesome. Speaking of which, I don't know if I mentioned your two books. You have two books, The Undivided Self and Truth or Dare, or Truth and Dare. Dare.
You can't choose between truth or dare. You have to acknowledge the truth and dare to live that truth. And that is an empowerment coaching curriculum for teenagers. It's extraordinary.
That's awesome. God, it's so needed in this world today, where I feel my heart is very heavy for the teenagers going through, being stuck at home and not being able to socialize nearly as much as they would otherwise, and kind of missing whole experiences of life in being where they're at.
Absolutely. And Jamie, I mean, it's like, if I would have had someone in my life like me at their age, I would have saved myself 20 years of really unhealthy relationships with myself and other people. Man, I want to be that one person in a child's life that I didn't have in mine. And, I do, my heart is heavy about, they learn in the histories and the science and all of these things that are great and beneficial, but just those key characteristics of empowerment and self-worth and self-dignity and self-respect and self-esteem and self-efficacy. Yeah, that's my heart.
So you're needed. You're desperately needed in our world is what that tells me.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for doing what you do and for this interview. This has been super, super fun. Awesome. So you stay on and I'll get us off. Thank you for being here. Let us know in the comments how you liked the interview and definitely share it with your friends.